Hello, hello. So on today, or whenever you tuned in, we have an amazing topic. I'm a natural hair store. You can find me on IG, Etsy, Waist Speed Spirituality. But we always talk and kiki like family. So I did a live like a day ago or so. And the topic of my live was Nothing Ain't Ghetto. Hashtag Nothing Ain't Ghetto. And when we got into it, we started talking and had a really good time, just going over a whole bunch of aspects to where Western society has changed your mind and made you look at the things that are encoded in your DNA like it's ghetto. First off, the term ghetto is just, I really don't like it. It's a description of things that black people do. And a lot of the things that we do are encoded in our DNA. Our melanin is smarter than us. There is an intelligence in our melanin that is beyond our reasoning. Also, with this Western mind that we got right now, we don't know how to accept it or understand it. And when we are disconnected from our history, that means that we don't understand that certain things and beliefs and actions and things we say and things we exhibit are straight from the motherland of Africa. So let's begin. First thing I wanted to talk about, which is very important, is just retraining the brain. It was a study done that shows that if you are constantly given the wrong information, it creates like a turmoil inside of your body and inside of your brain. And that way your body can never truly heal or be at peace, because your thoughts control everything in your body. So with this, is this not right? This doesn't make sense. With that type of thing going on, you can never be at 100% of functioning, thinking, reasoning, loving. You can never be at 100%. So my point of this is to help you change how you look at some of the actions that are being listed as ghetto. So the first thing we wanted to discuss was graffiti. Graffiti was kind of brought up back in the pop, lock, and then rap era when rap first came along, and graffiti is known as horrible, bad, and if you do it, you get, you get time, maybe you get a citation. But in all actuality, graffiti ain't ghetto, because ain't nothing ghetto. If you think about it, graffiti is signs and symbols marked up. Graffiti is art. Art reflects life. Life reflects art. The same signs and symbols you can find on the pyramids. All of the pyramids on, inside, everywhere. Hieroglyphics, aka Medu Neter, all over the pyramids to talk about what was going on at that time period, how people were living, what they were eating, I guess music, ceremonies, and the same things are being documented now on inner city walls with graffiti. So graffiti ain't ghetto, because ain't nothing ghetto. Slang is another one that they like to say is ghetto, but what a lot of people don't understand, like I said, when you disconnect from your history, there are things that you miss and you don't understand why you exhibit certain behaviors. We created language. Repeat. In Kemet was the first documented written language. We created language. We created language. To my understanding, we're the ones that brought language when some people were still coming out of the motherfucking caves. We taught them how to wash. We taught them how to be civilized, build buildings, govern themselves. That we also brought language. So when we came over here and we was given the Queen's English, which I'm assuming comes from the Moors, just an assumption. I don't know. I got to do my history. We decided that was kind of mundane. Like, we're always constantly evolving and developing. So English did not suit it. And to be completely honest, it's not even cohesive to our native tongue. Like, back in Kemet, we didn't even make noises like this. But the interesting part is 85% of the English language is actually Egyptian. Things you didn't know. So there have been studies done on slang, just on slang alone, how it is actually a second language. It is an advanced second language. It actually helps you to describe certain emotions and things that are not described or written down in Webster's dictionary. So ain't nothing ghetto. Slang ain't ghetto. Secondly, One of my favorite topics. Twerking ain't ghetto. Ain't nothing ghetto about twerking. We have been having dances that we exhibited during ceremonious times, in circles, around audiences, from the dawn of time. Believe it or not, twerking is spiritual. Twerking is spiritual. The energy that a good twerk. And I ain't talking about no regular pop twerk. I'm talking about a good old Louisiana wind and twirl your hips twerk is magical. Do you know that it's probably 1 million men all over the world that watch nothing but twerk videos all day? Now, if that ain't mesmerized or hypnotized, I don't know what is. Matter of fact, let's fast forward. If you and your home girls was to get a good twerk routine and go outside, 9 times out of 10, after the first week or so, y'all have a list of husbands, a line of husbands outside the door, and you can pick whichever one you fucking wanted to. The twerk is magical, is what it is. Even the whole clothes and all of that, but we ain't gonna get into that right now. The twerk, a good old twerk, is magical. If you don't believe me, having problems in your marriage, break out that twerk, see what it do for you. Having problems in the bedroom, break out that twerk, see what it do for you. The twerk is spiritual. Add a split on it, see what happened. All right, so abbreviations. How we LOL and DFL and all of this, TMF1N, everything that we use, the abbreviations are actually subconscious symbols. Because in Egypt, I think there are like 26 letters, but there are like over 5,000 words, because some words were just perfect for describing people, places, things, adjectives, and they didn't necessarily have to spell it out. That does not mean that we were less advanced than anybody else. It actually means we were more advanced because we realized that certain things don't have to be breaking down. It's alchemy. You have to understand the holistic of everything. So, abbreviations ain't ghetto. Time. People talk all day, every day about black people and color people time and all of that. Black people created time. We were the first people to break down the days of the week, the days of the months, the minutes in an hour, the hours in a 24-hour time period. We were the first people to define time, months, seasons, the winter solstice, the summer solstice, equinoxes. We were the first ones to describe that, break it down to an understandable, digestible information, so you could say, okay, it's daytime, it's 12 noon. So when black people don't show up for anything that's on time, that's because we fucking created time. And anybody knows that when you create something, you don't want to do nothing but improve it, right? You ain't still rocking on the iPhone 4. We got 10Xs and shit. You ain't supposed to do nothing but create and reinvent. That's what the melanin does. That's what it does. It's a connector. And once you've connected to something, all you want to do is get a deeper connection and understand it more. Break it down even further. Make it easily digestible. So, time is ours. So when we bend it, it is what it is. Days of the week, same principle. All right, let's talk about this good old clubbing. Going to a place where music and other people of like minds is not ghetto. So all the young kids that be like, girl, I go to the club. That shit ain't ghetto. That shit is spiritual. That shit is encoded in your DNA. In your DNA. If you do your history on a lot of different African tribes, we could even talk about the Dogon. The Dogon got the most sophisticated footwork out there. It's a tribe in Mali. Now, the interesting part about the Dogon is that the Dogon actually still carry to this day a lot of same principles, language of the ancient Egyptians, aka Kemet. Same words, same symbols. Some of their writing is actually a direct reflection of Medu Neter, which is the ancient language of Kemet, aka the ancient ones. What they do is they celebrate all types of stuff. They've seen things and everything. When they go out, they get dressed up. They have everybody around them and they dance. And I mean, it's a dance that still is unrivaled by any dance that we done came up with. Now, if they got everything, language, principles, rituals from Kemet, you think these people ain't direct descendants? Direct descendants? Now, we still clubbing. And in the back of your mind, you like, damn, that shit ghetto. That shit ain't ghetto. That shit is encoded in your DNA. It is spiritual. It is African. It is us. Because ain't nothing ghetto. All right, so we talking about barbecues. I forgot who said it, but somebody, I think it was on TV, was like, man, I went to Africa, and when it got hot, them niggas came outside, started cooking outside, family outside and everything. And he said, hey, this is the same as the barbecues at home. And the African dude said, yeah, we do this because we are proud. We show off our family. Our wealth is not in our material possessions necessarily. Our wealth is in our lineage. So when we come out, we bring everybody out so everybody can know that our family is a strong, big unit of people. Look at our genetic code. Look at everything we did, because the wealth wasn't in monetary possessions, houses, cars, and shit like that. Believe it or not, we still do it. We still go outside. We still cook on the grill. We still ask everybody to come around. We still sit on the motherfucking front. This is shit that you do and you don't even realizing you doing, because nothing ain't ghetto. If you knew your history, you would know nothing ain't ghetto. Let's fast forward into gold teeth. Tops and bottoms. Egyptian mummies was found with tops and bottoms slugged the fuck up. Diamonds and all of that. You're not ghetto. It's certain things in your DNA that can never be erased. It is smarter than you. We will always be a unified melanated people. And that will always be exhibited. Listen, I got a cat. She just had kittens. She ain't had to go to school to learn how to keep them kittens, keep them clean, feed them, take care of them, put them back when they get away. That's the same shit that's in us. And the cat don't got a motherfucking soul. We ain't gonna get into people without souls, but we do. So, nothing ain't ghetto. Nothing. All right, so let's go to braids, cornrows, as the DC folks say, locks. Or locks, dreads, whatever you want to call it. These two were also found on the Egyptian mummies. Nothing is ghetto. After you hear this video, go do your research. Everything that's quote unquote ghetto, everything is African lineage. It's African history in some form of another. Now, we may have twerked it, engineered it because we on the other side of the planet, but ain't nothing that we doing ghetto. And like they say, ain't nothing new under the sun. If you do not understand your history, it will continue to repeat itself. And you, unfortunately, because you've been taught by the Western society, you will believe that shit. That shit ghetto. Oh, she's so ghetto. Nah, we so African. We so African. Ain't no motherfucking that's so ghetto. Ain't nothing ghetto. Ain't nothing ghetto. Ain't nothing ghetto. Nothing. There's nothing ghetto. I used to get frustrated about rappers. I said, why the fuck do every little nigga want to be a rapper? Other than the fact that that's what they put on TV and we don't have any other options to think. So you either a rapper or you either a twerker or you either this or you either that. But in all actuality, rap is actually words put to music. Words put to music can be considered poetry. It's rhythmic. Back in the day, the way we taught each other was a storytelling process. That's why a lot of the Yoruba and all of those gods on the Orishas are told in stories. Some of the stories are, true. Some are not. But we know for a fact that that is how our people transfer information through storytelling, because storytelling hits the soul and you understand it. You can identify it, other than a motherfucker putting a book in front of you and saying, this what you got to learn, take this test. If you don't pass this test, and just to be completely honest, the tests that you take are manufactured by Western society. The intelligence that we had goes deeper and farther than you will ever know, but guess who know? They do. And they're going to make sure that when they take y'all and test y'all, that you'll never come up at the 100th percentile, because they have to keep you feeling inferior. Who makes the test? Think about it. So I got frustrated and I said, why do every little nigga want to be a rapper? That shit's so fucking frustrating. And reason being is because back in our time, it was, you had, the more you knew, the more information you knew, the more powerful of a person you were. So that's why people went to high priestess and things like that, because those people had a lot of information. Now, let me tell you what those people did. Those people taught. Every little nigga that rap, you ask him why he want to rap, he'll tell you because he got a story he need to tell. He got some shit he need to tell you. He feel like it's important. That shit is ingrained in our DNA. I'm going to explain to you how smart our people are and don't get the recognition for it. You do understand that we are an oppressed people, given almost zero resources. The reason why a lot of us black businesses don't always make it is because zero information is given. We don't see entrepreneurs in our family very often. Secondly, if you were to go about it the right way and try to get a business loan and things like that, you would probably get denied for a lot of that. You would probably get denied for 100% of that unless you did X, Y, Z. And still, our customer base has been programmed that white is right. So instead of buying something from somebody else that look like you, they feel like they got to buy X, Y, Z because that's what's good and that's what's quality. So a lot of black businesses don't make it because we just don't understand ourselves and we don't understand the economy. Saying that to say, everybody got something to say. So when these little niggas try to be rappers and shit, and you be like, oh my God, we don't need another rapper. You actually right. We don't need another rapper. But understand where that comes from. Understand it's encoded in our DNA. We can't help it. So at the end of the day, when you see graffiti, admire Africa. When you hear slang, admire the creators of language. When you see a good twerk, admire African ritual and African dance. When you see abbreviations, something not spelled correctly, and that shit is getting under your skin, like, how you gonna talk to me and you can't even spell right? Nigga, I created language. I don't gotta spell shit right. Matter of fact, I could just start another one. Change your brain. Perception is reality. Abbreviations. African. Time, bending of time, color people time. That shit ain't ghetto. That shit ain't CP time. That's African history exhibiting itself over here in America. Days, clubs, you see a good club going on. That shit ain't ghetto. That's celebration. That's ritual. That's ceremony. That's African. Barbecues, that ain't ghetto. That's ceremony. That's a celebration of life. That's a celebration of your genetic code. That is a celebration of your lineage. That shit ain't ghetto. Gold teeth. Listen, being flashy ain't even ghetto. Being flashy ain't even ghetto. Back when we were in our time, back when we were in our native line, we all dressed up to differentiate us from certain tribes and that say that we are from this area. And to demonstrate rank amongst the tribe. That's how we did it. And we still do. Nothing ain't ghetto. Believe it or not, the African American culture is behind a lot of the fashion eras. Behind it. You know this fashion, these t-shirts, all this shit we wearing, all that shit is Western. All that shit is Western because we didn't need to cover up like that over in our motherland. Now, who do you think decides this? Right, the driving force behind it is black people. That's why when you seen back in the Afro Black Panther era, we started rocking afros and started changing the game and rocking our clothes different ways because we are style. We use style to differentiate us from other folk. That's why that normal conform, wear this, wear that, that's why that shit don't work. You do understand the reason why certain jobs make you dress a certain way. They say because it's corporate culture. No, that's because that's their culture. And the reason why we're constantly going against it, because it's not ours. It's not ours. And no matter how bad you want to blend in, this melanin make you stand out regardless. So stop fighting it. Because ain't nothing ghetto. All that shit is African. Ain't nothing ghetto. Ain't nothing ghetto. Ain't nothing ghetto. If you got anything else that ain't ghetto, put that shit underneath in the comments. Follow me on IG at A Natural Hair Story, where I go live weekly. I got a lot of kids, so let's hope. Well, I go live weekly and we talk about all different topics. Waist beads is my main topic, but I like to talk about everything. We conscious folk got to stick together. We all ascending. We just at different places in it. All right. What ain't ghetto? At the bottom. This hat ain't ghetto. This tea ain't ghetto. None of that shit ghetto.